week feel? Kind of have you get to watch all the games, you get a little bit of rest before you go into the playoffs.
It's huge. Rest is a weapon down the stretch, and for us to have it at this time, I think it's great timing if we use it right. And I think the guys are using it right now. Some guys are on the ice touching it, some guys are not because they need a rest. Either way, it's a weapon. We're using it right now. So.
I would just agree with what Smolen said. It's a good weekend. Never had that opportunity. It's very interesting, and it's going to be good to see other teams play, whoever we're playing, and kind of just prepare. Like Smolen said, get rest for our bodies, but also get those mental reps from watching other teams play.
I know it's a Tuesday, maybe plans aren't made, but any team watch parties or guys getting together to watch all these playoff games?
I think more of just kind of us worrying about ourselves, kind of getting together as a team, spending time together. It's a valuable moment to be able to use it as an advantage, to get closer together, to just kind of have momentum moving into playoffs here. Kind of just focusing on ourselves rather than other things.
How exciting is this for each of you getting to host a playoff hockey game in the Mullet Arena?
Just incredible. I mean, this program's been waiting for something like this for a long time. All the guys in the room have been wanting this for a long time. It's everything we've ever wanted. It's just a matter of getting it done, really in front of our fans, for everyone that's ever supported us. This is our moment to pay it back to them. So.
Artem, for you, you've been in a lot of conference tournaments before. What is the type of advice, or how does the game kind of transition to a different level when it becomes playoff hockey?
It's cliche, but all the teams, play harder in the playoffs, and I think home advantage plays a big role here, and being at home helps us a lot, especially at the rink we have and with the fans we got. I think it'll help us in the upcoming series in 2 weeks. But just in playoffs, you focus game by game. There's a lot of more matchups to prepare for, and there's a little more video to watch because you have a set opponent for 2, maybe even 3 games, right? So you kind of set yourself up, and we have a lot more time to prepare for an opponent, which is good. And then hopefully we can extend, our season and be in Minneapolis. That's what we're looking towards.
Coach was just talking about the kind of changing of the guard with some of the older guys. What's it like for you, some of the younger guys, to have this opportunity to potentially look between them?
It's incredibly, it's an honor, really. There's college hockey players that go their whole careers without even getting a sniff at that opportunity. So just being in my second year, being able to, support the guys that have been here and been a part of the old guard and been wanting to be a part of something like that, it's all anything I could have ever wanted, really. I mean, it's a sense of urgency, really, because those guys have been doing everything without really having hope at the end of the season, and they've been doing everything the right way, regardless of what they have in front of them. So for me, it's there's a sense of urgency to get them the opportunity to play in Minneapolis and hopefully get it, and win the whole thing, so they can get their shot in the tournament. So that's how I feel about that.
It's like your mindset going into this 3-game or 2-game, potentially 3-game series.
Well, first of all, we obviously focus on ourselves, and we don't know who we play against, but it's nice with all the odds and whatnot. We're probably going to be playing, hopefully, Duluth or St. Cloud, right? So, and they're playing each other. So I think it'll be nice to watch those 2 games between those 2 teams and kind of get ready for them. Everyone's going to get their own, personal look, because usually when you're playing, you only get the video from the coaches during the week and you prepare for the team. But I think it's really going to be good and important for everyone to get a personal look at both of those teams during the weekend, the week before we play one of them.
Yeah, I also think, a big part of that with our preparation, we're obviously focused on ourselves and our effort. But I think what a big challenge is going to be for our team, and I'm excited to see how we, respond to it, is, you're going to have to end a team season. And that's the hardest thing to do. You know what I mean? You have to, they're going to be desperate, fighting every last straw, and we have to find a way to, finish them off. And that's the hardest thing you can do at this level. So I'm excited to see how we handle that adversity. I'm excited to see how we, if we're gonna get it done, and I know we're gonna get it done. I'm excited to see how we attack that.
For both of you, what were the pros and cons you took out of the Omaha series?
Pros, I'd say you're gonna have to look at it kind of game by game. I think first game we had an incredible third. I think we really executed what we talked about earlier in the week about being killers and taking the game into our own hands and finding a way to end the game and build a lead. Cons from the first game, I think we didn't have a great start. I think we let them back in it more times than we wanted to. And then, pros about the second game is, we started really well and, we kind of kept it going through the second. We didn't have a really great third. So that's how I see it. I think we can also look at the cons in the sense of, in the second game we had a ton of penalty kills, like when you're on the kill 6, 7 times, whatever it was, like it's hard to win a game and get momentum when you're always in the box. So cleaning up the discipline is going to be huge for us going into this playoff week. So that's how I view it.
I think for me, the pro and the con is the same topic. It's control the controllables. There's some things that are out of your control on Saturday night that you can't do anything about, and you just got to prepare for it. And the other thing is, it's so hard to sweep in college hockey, and especially for us getting ready for this playoff series, you got to, especially being at home, you got to end it in 2 games. That's how I see it. Because that game for me, it's like a game 7. Anything can happen, and then the home advantage kind of goes away because everyone's desperate, everyone wants to win. You're 60 minutes away from going to the semifinal at that point, right? So anything can happen. So I think for us, control the controllables is number 1, and then second of all, you got to come out each game, 1 game at a time. But when you come out for that second game, there's no thinking about if we lose, there's going to be a third game. There's no thinking like that. It's just one, you win the first one, you win the second one, and the series is over.
Obviously, a tough way to lose the second game, but that goal not counting. What was the message after the game in the locker room? And Artie, is there anything that the older guys are saying to the group?
I think the biggest thing with that loss for me was we're not thinking about the pairwise anymore. And I personally, when I think about college hockey and being in college hockey, I'm never thinking about it. All I'm thinking about, you gotta win your conference tournament to get in the national tournament. That's, I think, how it should work in general. Because at the end of the day, you don't wanna be in your conference tournament, locked in for the national tournament. You lose in, let's say, the quarterfinal or semifinal, then you gotta practice for another 3 weeks, and then you get a chance, and you end up playing that 1 game and you lose, and then you're done. It just messes up your whole season, messes up the rhythm. So I think that at this point we're looking at it we got to win 4 games, and then we get a chance to play a 5th game, and then get a chance to play a 6th game, and then there can be a max of 8 or 9 games left in our season, and we're excited about every single one of them because it's elimination games. You got to win to move on. If you lose a game, you only have 1 kind of second chance. You can lose 1 game in the first 3, and then you're done. If you lose more than 1, then your season's over.
Coach has talked about how influential the fans have been in the atmosphere here at Mullet. What would be your message to fans for this week of just having a good crowd here?
I mean, we feed off your energy, really. I mean, if you bring the energy, we'll bring you the results. If you're loud and you're providing us energy, that there's only one way the game can go. So.
Is there any added pressure with more eyes being on you guys?
I don't think so. You always have eyes on you, whether you know it or not. I think we just have to do what we do best. We just got to perform. Be killers. That's it.
Coaches called this the deepest roster this program has ever seen. From your guys' perspective, what is the full potential of this team this year?
I don't think there's a number that we can put on or somehow quantify the players on the team. I think it's a close group that's gotten closer throughout the year, gotten better throughout the year in a hockey standpoint and just a personal relationship standpoint. And like I said, now we're looking at it game by game, how good we can be as a team game by game. So I don't think there's a number on it of how good we are, but it is a deep roster. It's definitely the deepest roster I've been a part of in my 5 years, and I think there's big things ahead of us going to the playoffs.
same thing there, you know. I think we can go as far as we're willing to, you know. I think we have a chance to kind of carve our own destiny here. I think we have a chance to go as far as we're willing to take it, and at the end of the day, it just comes down to our mental toughness, and you know, at the end of the day, like our ability really. And it's all mental at this point. How far are we willing to go? How far are we willing to take it?
Last few.
Kyle, Coach mentioned how good Ty Jackson's been playing the last 2 games, especially now in the PK. You get to see him a lot. What have you seen from him?
He's relentless. He's like a little bee buzzing around all the time. He's flying all over the place. He's quick. He's strong. He's smart. He's a great two-way guy, and being able to play with him, it's awesome. You know, it's easy to play with a guy that has high energy, high pace. So I love playing with him. Even his brother too. I mean, I had the chance to play with both of them this weekend, and sometimes I got mixed up. I didn't know which one was which. Thank God they're opposite hands, because I wouldn't be able to tell between the two. So it's really awesome playing with two guys that, you know, do the right things, and they play hard. So.